everyone, welcome back to my vlog. I'm Robin, or Hobbit's Reading List. This week, we're gonna have to pick up on our reading, because the week has sort of just started and I'm already feeling behind, and I have a race on Friday. There's gonna be events, so let's just get into it. So, I haven't read. I haven't. And I'm filming this really quickly because I have to leave for work. I'm going to start listening to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And tomorrow, hopefully, I will start reading The Hate You Give. So I will give an update tomorrow, but I just wanted to officially start this vlog, because if I start it any later, then it feels kind of pointless. But we'll talk more. I just wanted to get this started. So it's been a minute. I did not end up starting One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest on Wednesday. And I didn't read anything Wednesday or Thursday. I did read on Friday. I started reading The Hate You Give for one of my classes. And I've read it before. I forgot how kind of devastating it is. But The Hate You Give is about a girl named Star who was at a party and ended up reuniting with a childhood friend of hers, and a fight breaks out where someone else gets shot, and so they quickly leave the party, and they're driving in their neighborhood, sort of reconnecting, and they get pulled over. Now this is a black neighborhood that has some gang activity, but Khalil, the guy driving the car, wasn't doing anything, but he gets pulled over, and ultimately he is shot and killed by the police officer. Star is the only witness, and so The Hate You Give is just about her being in the aftermath and processing and realizing she is sort of the person to potentially help change her neighborhood using her voice and what she saw, and sort of dealing with that and coming to terms with just the racism that is in America and in other places too, but specifically America versus black and white people, or I guess black people and white society. So yeah, it's so well done, and it's so devastating, and there were multiple times that I teared up. I've already finished it. So I read a third of it on Friday as I was waiting for my 5K. I did my 5K. It did not feel the best because it was a route I never got a chance to practice on. So I had some idea of what it would be like, because I talked to other people who've ran where I did. But yeah, I never got a chance to practice it, and then it was way colder than the weather would have had me believe. It was say 45, and I've ran a 45-degree temperature before wearing shorts and a t-shirt, and there's actually this website called Dress My Run which agreed that that's what I should wear. It was so cold. My top half was fine because I was wearing a couple different layers just with my t-shirt and then the apron that I was wearing as like my costume and then my protective vest. So my top half was fine. My legs were so cold, and that sucked because it just felt like my muscles like never warmed up. I did knock 8 minutes off my previous 5K time. I don't know how I did that because I had a plan going in and everything. I did not stick to it at all. I just ran whatever I felt like I could, if for however long I could, which was usually like a minute. So I was like, I have no idea how I did that. But now I've learned, and I'm going to make some adjustments over the next month until the turkey trot in about 4 weeks. So there's that. And then yesterday I was mainly spent recovering. And so I finished reading The Hate You Give yesterday. And it was really, really good. And I think I mentioned, like, I've read it before, but it'd been a couple years. I think I last read it in like 2018, 2019. And so I was happy to read it again. And now part of me kind of wants to watch the movie because I never ended up doing that. And the cast looks incredible. So I kind of want to watch it. But yeah, so I gave it 5 stars. There's nothing else I can say. It was so good. So yeah, I gave it 5 stars. Now today I have to work on the assignment that I read it for, which I don't know how I'm going to do that because I have to compare it to what was one of my worst books for the year, that I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter. So I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do that. I'll figure that out later. But yeah, that's about it. That's my very quick update. I decided to turn this into a 2-week vlog. Like, I decided that on, like, I think Thursday. That didn't factor into me not reading, but it did make me relax a little bit because I just hadn't read. And I was starting to feel guilty, like, shit, do I have anything to talk about? But, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to film my November TBR, put that out on Tuesday, so there's still something. And then, yeah, this will be a 2-week vlog because I just didn't read. So, and I think part of me is avoiding One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and I don't know why, because I don't know that much about it. Like, I've never seen the movie. I've only read the blurb, but, like, I don't know. I think part of me is avoiding it. I'm gonna get over that. So, yeah, I'm gonna go to work, because I'm already late leaving, but I wanted to make sure that I filmed. And hopefully I will check in tomorrow with what I've listened to about One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Okay, so I'm in my car because I don't want to forget to film. This vlog has been so sporadic, and I'm very sorry about that, but I haven't really been reading. I'm in a slump still, and so because of that, I'm making a decision. So I did read, sort of, but I'm going to go out of order. So yesterday I started listening to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I listened to about 40 minutes. One, it doesn't have chapters, which really bothers me. It seems like it has parts, but it just feels like 237 minutes of narrative. I'm trying to find, like, a way that my face isn't weirdly lit, but that's fine. So yeah, so that was off-putting, and then I couldn't focus, and it wasn't really engaging. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is about this residential facility, and the main character is called the Chief because he's like half Indian, but everyone thinks that he's deaf and dumb. He's not. He's just quiet and he's observing things. And this new person is on the floor, and he's very, like, sort of like bombastic is the word that sort of is in my head. He's kind of there to rile everyone up. And there's also this, like, head nurse. I only saw her a little bit. Her name's Nurse Ratched. I know, I haven't seen the movie for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, so I don't know generally what it is, but I've heard of Nurse Ratched. She's kind of, like, not the best. So, but I just couldn't get into it, and because I'm in a slump, and I've essentially finished all of my, like, the novels that I have to read for school. and because I really want to get out of the slump, I'm doing a soft DNF on One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which sort of sucks because it was my consequence book. But it was like a voluntary consequence book, so not really consequence because I didn't need it. I just had my dad pick one because I felt like I deserved it. So I'm doing a soft DNF. I may revisit in the future when I'm not so slumpy. Tomorrow when I go to work, I'm going to start another audiobook for my November TBR, which I really tried to make sure my November TBR was full of books that I was excited about. So hopefully that will help. So yeah, so I read that, and then Tuesday I read the first chapter of Girl on the Boat by P.G. Wodehouse. I don't quite know what the plot is yet, but we met this like mom. She's a mom. She's an older woman. I forget what her name is. But she's so controlling. Like most older women in Wodehouse are super controlling and super classist, which is really annoying. But that was sort of, the times a bit. She has a son named Eustace. Yes. And they have a country home. She's in America right now. She's doing like a lecture tour or something. But she's sending Eustace back home to stay in their house so that no one tries to like steal it out from under them. It's interesting. There's going to be a romance plot. So far, I know of 3 people that are going to be on this boat that I forget what it's called. The Atlantic, I think. It's Eustace, his cousin, whose name I don't remember. Oh, and then his cousin's rival, or Eustace's rival for the affections of this girl. Yeah, so I know this plot wasn't, this synopsis wasn't good. I will hopefully read more of it this weekend and we'll be able to tell you more about the plot. But I want to make sure I filmed, and yeah, so I will, I'll check in with you hopefully Saturday after I listen to a new audiobook. Okay, so I'm just going to film this really quick on here. I'm on my phone again, so sorry if the video is different. I just sort of sunk into like a mini depressive episode. I just can't be bothered to go upstairs and turn on the camera. I started listening to The Bookshop by Penelope Fitzgerald, and I don't think I've talked about it yet. It's this woman, she's a widow, and she has like a little bit of money from her husband, and she decides that in this like very small village in England that she lives in, she's going to open a bookshop because the village doesn't have one. Well, there's some people in her village, other shop owners, that don't want her to open a bookshop. And from what I've listened to, I only listened to 2 chapters so far. It's a short book, but it primarily seems because of the building that it's in, that there's some other people in the village who have more clout that want to use that building for something else. An arts center, I think. So like I said, I only listened to 2 chapters, so like it was good. Hi, buddy. Hi. He thinks I'm on the phone because this is usually what he does when I'm FaceTiming with my dad. But that's fine. So I like it. I'm hoping I can get more into it tomorrow. And that's really the only thing I've read. I did have a lot of fun on Halloween. Hung out with some friends. Watched Rocky Horror Picture Show with my friend Stephanie. So that was fun. And I don't know why I'm like sad today. And it's really kind of annoying me. So I'm going to try to turn it around. I'm going to listen to some holiday music. I'm going to take down Halloween, clean the house, and redecorate for Christmas, Hanukkah. And hopefully that helps. But I will check in tomorrow after I've listened to more of The Bookshop. Can you say bye? Nope, he's just going to leave. Okay. So October was rough, reading-wise, and kind of mood-wise, but mainly reading-wise. I finished a decent amount of books. I just don't feel like I did, because all of them were school related. But it's over now. I've officially finished reading all the books that I need to for school. So I'm really hoping that now that we're in November, I can just focus on, like, yes, my writing assignments, which I still have, but that I can primarily just focus on reading. Because I just really feel like I haven't. Case in point, this was a 2-week vlog. And I read, what, 3 books? I think? So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up the vlog, but I want to tell you about the Bookshop because I finished it. I don't know if I've even talked about what it was about, but the Bookshop is following this woman, Mrs. Green, whose first name I now just can't remember. Florence Green. She is a widow. She had like a small inheritance from her husband, and she decides to use that to purchase this building that had been empty for like 5 years. There were, you know, building issues. There's also apparently a ghost. Apparently this building is also haunted, which I was not expecting when I first started listening to it on Halloween, but I did appreciate. But she purchases this house. She lives upstairs. She turns the bottom floor into a bookshop. There's no bookshop in this town. And at the beginning of the book, she's like at this party or something, at this estate for, you know, this general, I guess he's one of the wealthier people in this village. His wife is a socialite, and she mentions that she had wanted the old building, which is what it's called, for an arts center. It'd been empty for 5 years. So Florence acknowledges this, but is like, well, I'm going to open a bookshop because I've already got the building, I got the loan, I ordered the books, it's going ahead. And so the bookshop is following her, like, 1.5 years, I think, maybe. It's anywhere from 1 year to 2 years of being open. And what sort of came with that, but essentially there are a lot of people in this village that either don't want her to have a bookshop or there to be a bookshop in the first place, or are pretty ambivalent about it and don't think that it'll be successful. So there's that. I will not say any more about the plot because it's a fairly short book, and so we're getting into like spoiler territory. I will say that, like, if you are someone who dreams of owning a bookstore one day, which I think are a lot of people who love books, myself included, I maybe wouldn't recommend this book. It's just not like super encouraging. I'll just leave it at that. But it was quick. There were parts of it that I liked. I liked the surprise ghost. And I liked Florence. She didn't necessarily take any crap from anyone for the most part. I liked, oh crap, what was her name? Victoria? Victoria, I think. She had a little, like, 11-year-old girl who was, like, an assistant, a shop assistant. I liked her, even though I can't remember her name. So, I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was fine. I would have... I don't want to say anymore. It was fine. So, yeah, I gave it 3 stars, and that is what I've read. Like I said, I'm really hopeful that November can have a lot more reading involved. But luckily, my November TBR is full of books that I want to read, if not, like, actively excited about. So, there is that. And, yeah, that's about what I've got going on. So I'm going to wrap up this vlog. I'm going to start next week's. Hopefully there's more reading involved. I know I keep saying that. I'm putting it out in the universe. But if you watch this, thank you so much for watching. Leave me a comment, like the video, subscribe, click the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload a video. And I will talk to you next week. Bye.